रिकॉर्ड पे लगा दिया हूँ, बस एक आध मिनट में स्टार्ट हो जाए। यस, good afternoon to all my dear friends. As you know that in the previous class we have already discussed AR Antule case, and as you know that in that case it was discussed that if the office changes in that circumstances, previous sanction is not necessary. But everyone knows that after the amendment in 2018, law has been totally changed. Now I am going to discuss a landmark judgment which have been prescribed in your syllabus, and name of that case is that Abhay Singh Chautala versus CBI. Here again I want to inform you that regarding the Abhay Singh Chautala versus CBI, regarding the JVT teachers scams, there are several cases. There are several cases. In one case, CBI inquiry was challenged. In one case, sanction was challenged. In one case, previous conviction was challenged. In one case, parole period was challenged. So my point is that you will get several cases on that points. Okay, but whatever case has been prescribed in your syllabus, name of the case is that Abhay Singh Chautala versus CBI 2011. This is the important points, and this particular case is related to only and only previous sanction, which is based on Section 19 of the Prevention of Corruption Act 2008, Prevention of Corruption Act 1988. As you know that if you read the present history of the Haryana state, you will get the Mr. Om Prakash Chautala, Mr. Ajay Singh Chautala, both are in jail. As you know that both are in jail. So why both are in jail? In this case, no conviction was decided. It was not decided whether they were convicted or acquitted. But there is another judgment which was decided in 2015. This is the judgment which was decided in 2015. In that particular case, it was decided their convictions. For example, Om Prakash Singh Chautala versus CBI. This case was decided in 2015, and in that case, it was decided that Om Prakash Chautala, Ajay Singh Chautala, and 55 persons had committed scam. Okay, so regarding conviction of them, this case is the Om Prakash Chautala versus CBI. Regarding the previous sanction, case is that अभय सिंह चौटाला वर्सेस सीबीआई। एक मिनट और लूंगा। जैसे आपसे कोई पूछेगा कि सर ये लोग अभी जेल में क्यों हैं या पैरोल पर क्यों हैं, क्योंकि हम लोगों के जो सिलेबस में जो केस प्रेस्क्राइब किया गया है उसमें तो कहीं डिसाइड ही नहीं किया गया कि इन्होंने स्कैम किया है या नहीं किया है, इनको कन्विक्शन होगा या एक्विटल होगा, ये सब सारी बातें तो कुछ कही ही नहीं गई है। इस पॉइंट को लेकर के एक मिनट होल्ड करना, सुनो मुझे शर्म आ रही है। Yes, in that particular case, in that case, this is the point of the this is the point of the oh yes, Om Prakash Singh Chautala versus CBI. This particular case is related to the conviction of that person. ठीक है, बस अभी हो रहा है। बस now come to the point here is that come to the case from the very beginning. Yes, wait. Yes, this is the case which have been prescribed in your syllabus. That is the case of Ajay Singh Chautala and another CBI. In this case, both are the brothers, and this case was decided by the division bench, Honorable Justice Sirpurkar and Honorable Justice T.S. Thakur. But judgment was written by Justice V.S. Sirpurkar. Case was decided on the 4th July 2011, and be clear that this particular case, there are 2 points. Regarding the previous sanctions, yes, this point was discussed in this case. Regarding the sanction, it was not discussed in this case. Regarding the sanction, which case? Regarding the section Om Prakash Chautala versus CBI, decided in 2015. Regarding the previous sanctions, Abhay Singh Chautala versus CBI in 2011. अब तुम लोग कहोगे सर इतना क्यों आप बार बार दोनों को वो कर रहे हो? एक्चुअली होता क्या है, सेमेस्टर एग्जाम में क्या करते हैं बच्चे, वो करते क्या है, जब अभय सिंह चौटाला केस को डिस्कस करते हैं वो तुरंत लिख देते हैं कि इन दिस केस एक्यूज वर कन्विक्टेड। उनको मालूम है, पॉलिटिकल नॉलेज है कि हाँ कन्विक्शन तो हुआ है, लेकिन उनको मालूम ही नहीं रहता कि इस केस में कन्विक्शन नहीं हुआ था। तो अब क्या होता है कि जैसे कि हम काफी चेक करेंगे हम तुरंत समझ जाएंगे कि भाई इस केस में कन्विक्शन इक्वेशन की बात ही नहीं हुई। तुम करते क्या एग्जाम के टाइम में, एक बच्चा पढ़ लेगा, 10 बच्चों को बैठा करके वो सुना देगा कहानी, और 10 बच्चे बस कहानी जान जाएंगे, बस कहेंगे हाँ ठीक है ठीक है, इतना तो मैं लिख दूंगा, इतना तो एग्जाम संभाल लूंगा, अब डरने की बात नहीं है। भौकाल बनाता है, वहीं जाकर के नंबर आ जाता है 50-52%। तो बाद में कहता है कि बहुत अच्छा लिखा था। इस बात को ध्यान में रखना कि ये पॉइंट को इसीलिए मैं बार बार कहता हूँ, यह केस सैंक्शन का है और 2015 का जो जजमेंट है, सॉरी हाँ, वो कन्विक्शन का है। To come to the point here in this case, facts, statutory provisions, issues, arguments, ratio, decisions. Some points regarding the facts in the previous class I have already discussed. That's why there is no need to discuss the facts of the case again. But in the brief, within 2 minutes, we can summarize here is that here these persons belongs to the high profile political family, and well-known politicians of this country were the Chaudhry Devilal, and he was the ex-deputy CM at one time, and his son Om Prakash Chautala became successor of his father, and Om Prakash Chautala was the five times chief ministers, and longest time he was 1919 to 2005. During this period, here the junior basic teachers scam was occurred, JBT was occurred. At that time when he was the chief minister, his son Ajay Singh Chautala as well as Abhay Singh Chautala both were also in active politics, and they were also involved in corruption cases. Dushyant Chautala, his nephew, he was not involved in this case. At that time, he was a minor. He was not interested in the politics at that time, so his name was not involved in this case. Regarding this fact, what was the happened? Om Prakash Chautala, JBT scam was that in the state of Haryana, there was how many teachers vacancy was advertised? 3,208 teachers. कितनी सीटें थी? 3,208। किसकी टीचर थी? जूनियर बेसिक टीचर की थी। ये यूनिवर्सिटी का नहीं था, कॉलेज का नहीं था, जूनियर बेसिक टीचर की वैकेंसी थी, जिसमें के कितने नंबर थे? 3,208 teachers. It means there was a big vacancy. It was alleged that the government is interested to provide the good teachers, competent teachers. But what was the reality? Reality was totally different. Exam was conducted. Whatever exam was method, mains written, whatever was that, exam was conducted. Result was about to be announced. सब कुछ फाइनल हो गया था, रिजल्ट अनाउंस होने वाला था, और 3,200 स्टूडेंट्स का ऑलरेडी सिलेक्शन हो चुका था. बट व्हाट हैपेंड इन द meanwhile the politicians, that is the Om Prakash Chautala, Ajay Chautala, Abhay Chautala, and 55 more persons. How many persons? 55 more persons are also involved in taking the bribe. For one teachers, how many bribes? Near about 4 to 5 lakhs. How much amount? Near to 4 to 5 lakhs. It means if you have a 5 lakh rupees, you can be a teacher in the Haryana. Even as you know that in the Bihar, but I'm not going to that politics. But what happened? Om Prakash Chautala directed to the Sanjeev Kumar. He was the director of the basic, and it was directed that please change name of the 2,000 candidates. How many candidates? कहा गया कि वैकेंसी 3,200 की है, 2,000 बच्चों का नाम चेंज कर दो. मतलब जो 2,000 बच्चे सिलेक्शन पाए हुए हैं उनका नाम काट करके निकाल दो, और हम लोग एक लिस्ट तुम्हें भेज रहे हैं, उसी लिस्ट को तुम वहां पे फिलअप कर दो. अब क्या हुआ कि ये 2,000 बच्चों का नाम काट दिया गया, or a 2000 students who have paid the 5 lakh rupees, they were inserted in the selection list and result was announced. Result was announced. What happened in the meanwhile? There was some disputes between the Sanjeev Kumar and Om Prakash Chautala. Due to the disputes, Sanjeev Kumar went to the Sanjeev Kumar went to the Supreme Court, filed the writ petitions. In the writ petition, he alleged this scam, and after that, headline was started to be the JBT scam. If you find out in the Google, if you search in the Google, if you write JBT scam in Haryana, many details you can get. And after, due to that scam, here the Abhay Singh Chautala has earned money. You can read. You have a good command over the subjects. You can read what is the amount, how much he had earned due to that scam. This is the amount. Here that how much enhance of the property. His property was suddenly enhanced 522 times. Okay. In this way, this was the enhancement of the property. This was the. It means Abhay Singh Chautala earned money. This is the amount of the money, and Ajay Singh Chautala also earned the money. How much he earned the money? He earned the money. This is the his income. You can read. You have better knowledge. As you know that I don't know anything, but you can calculate how much amount both brothers have earned during these 4 or 5 years. अब तुम कैलकुलेट कर सकते हो कि दोनों बंधुओं ने मिल करके अजय सिंह चौटाला और अभय सिंह चौटाला ने मिल करके कितना पैसा कमाया. देखो, if you see the present look in the 2020, Ajay Singh Chautala and Abhay Singh Chautala both are totally different. Son of the Ajay Singh Chautala, Mr. Dushyant Chautala, had formed the new party JJP, and Abhay Singh Chautala is continuing in the under the banner of the INELO. At present time, both are political rivalry. Both are the political rivalry, but at that time, both were the good brothers, and by the combined efforts, they earned so much money. In that way, when the Sanjeev Kumar went to the Supreme Court passed an order for the CBI inquiry. CBI inquiry started against them in 2003. After that, charge sheet was submitted in 2008. After that, when the special court took the cognizance against these brothers, against Abhay Singh Chautala and Ajay Singh Chautala, both started to raise the argument, no, you can't take action against me because we are the public servants. We are the public servant. When the special court took the cognizance, special court took the cognizance in 2008. When the corruption had happened during the 1999 to 2003. This was the period of the corruption. Here they started to raise milliards. We are the public servants, so you can't take cognizance. But special court rejected and said that no, although you are the public servants, but your capacity is different. Your capacity is different. For example, see the period 99 to 2003. During this period, Ajay Singh Chautala was the public servant. Yes, he was the public servant, but what was his capacity? His capacity was that he was the member of parliament from the Bhiwani district, from the Bhiwani constituency, Bhiwani district. And during this period, 2008 onwards, although he was a member, but he was a member from the Rajya Sabha. It means here his office has been totally changed. As you know that special court rejected their argument. एक बात और बता दूं, थोड़ा आराम कर लूं, इतना कोई जल्दीबाजी नहीं है, नहीं तो समझोगे कुछ नहीं. स्पेशल कोर्ट के पास जब when the matter went to the special court took the cognizance without previous sanction. Special court took the cognizance without previous sanctions. Ajay Singh Chautala read the objections and said that Mr. Special Court, you can't take action against me without previous sanction. Special courts asked, how can you say that I have no capacity? In that circumstances, Ajay Singh Chautala said that according to the section 19, if the offence is related to section 13, any court can't take cognizance without the previous sanctions. So I am a public servant. I am a public servant. For the example, according to Ajay Singh, I was public servant. I was public servant. I was the public servant. So you can't take action against me. But special court said that, okay, yes, you are a public servant. You are the public servant. You are the public servants. But here there are three office. Office number 1, office number 2, office number 3. Okay. If you count from here, you can count office number 1, office number 2, office number 3, office number 4, office number 5. According to special court, it was said that according to the Antule case, here there are totally different office. In the case of change of the office and corruption has been committed in previous office, no sanction is necessary. In that circumstances, there is no need to take sanctions. Okay, and that's why Ajay Singh Chautala did not get any remedy. Same thing happened in the case of his brother Abhay Singh Chautala. Abhay Singh Chautala was also the public servant, but his capacity was different. He was the MLA from something different constituency. He was the MLA from different. So that's why it was rejected the argument and said that no, you don't deserve for the previous sanction because your office is totally changed. For the example, for your better understanding, in the last moment I classified something. For the example, here comparison between cases and 2018. If the person is the acting public servants, yes, previous sanction is necessary. Previous sanction is necessary, no change. Okay, but here there is acting public servants, but here change of office time to time. Sometimes you are MP, sometimes you are MLA, sometimes you are chief minister, sometimes MLA from the Bhiwani, sometimes MLA from the Panipat, sometimes MLA from the Sonipat. These are the different capacity. In the case of R.S. Nayak and Abhay Singh Chautala, it was said that in case of change of the office, previous sanction is not necessary. Although he is still public servants, but due to the change of the office, no need of the previous sanction. But amendment said that even sanction is necessary. In retired public servant, what is the situation? Kali Charan case, it was observed that previous sanction is not necessary. But amendment said that previous sanction is necessary. That's why in this particular case, nothing remedy was not granted either to the Abhay Singh Chautala case or to the Ajay Chautala case. These were the main decisions which I have to discuss for your semester exam. Semester exam के लिए बस इतना ही इस केस को हमें पढ़ना है कि अगर ऑफिस चेंज हो जाए, जैसे पहले फिनांस मिनिस्ट्री से होम मिनिस्ट्री में चला जाए, एमपी से एमएलए हो जाए, सीएम से पीएम हो जाए, ठीक ना, तो इस तरह का कंटिन्यूअस ऑफिस है, लेकिन ऑफिस चेंज हो जा रही है, तो प्रीवियस सैंक्शन जरूर है कि नहीं है. तो आप कहेंगे कि अभय सिंह चौटाला के केस में यही ऑब्जर्व किया गया कि ऑल्दो यू आर कंटिन्यूअसली पब्लिक सर्वेंट्स, बट ड्यू टू चेंज ऑफ द पब्लिक ऑफिस देयर इज नो नीड टू टेक द सैंक्शंस. ये तुम्हारा सेमेस्टर का एग्जाम है. बाकी चीजें हम जो डिस्कस करेंगे यही सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ऑब्जर्व किया था, बाकी जो भी डिस्कस करेंगे ओनली फॉर द सेक ऑफ द नॉलेज. कम टू द पॉइंट ऑफ द नॉलेज. What was the charge was framed? Regarding the charge was framed under section 13 class 1e and 13 class 2. Section 13 class discuss about the criminal misconduct. Again I want to take 2 minutes. In the last moment, I had solved one more question. अभी अभी मैंने क्वेश्चन जल्दी से सॉल्व किया क्योंकि मैं डिक्लेयर कर चुका था कि यूनिट खत्म हो चुकी है, फिर भी मैंने इसको तेजी से सॉल्व किया। जैसे मान लीजिए अगर केस आ जाए, जैसे केस आया हुआ है, इफ क्वेश्चन इज दैट व्हाट एक्शंस ऑफ पब्लिक सर्वेंट्स अमाउंट टू मिसकंडक्ट, व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ मिसकंडक्ट। Next question is that is it necessary to obtain the previous sanction for the prevention of the corruption act? My point is that this is based on the section 19. Misconduct is based on the section 13. It means all the cases, Kalicharan case, Kamarjit Singh Kakkar case, and Abhay Singh Chautala case, all the cases are related to the misconduct. Okay. Regarding some cases, I have already discussed. Where 2019 same case. How to reply? You have to reply section 13 has been substituted 2018. Some cases have been decided on section 13 before 2018 amendment. These are the following cases. Okay. But after the amendment, previous judgments are not relevant. What is the section 13? What is the meaning of misconduct? You can remember here present times. Okay. And regarding the sanction, I had already discussed several cases on the point of section 19. You can write. मेरे कहने का मतलब है कि अगर क्वेश्चन आ जाए कि आप मिसकंडक्ट को डिफाइन करिए और क्या इस मामले में प्रीवियस सैंक्शन जरूरी है, तो प्रीवियस सैंक्शन के लिए रिगार्डिंग सेक्शन 19 के जितने केसेस है उसको डिस्कस करोगे और मिसकंडक्ट के मीनिंग के लिए सिर्फ सेक्शन 13 को डिस्कस करोगे। ये मत कह देना कि सर ने इसको पढ़ाया ही नहीं है, तो इसको पढ़ लेना। Yes, charge. See here, in this case, charge was framed under section 13 1E and 13 class 2. It means charge was for committing the criminal misconduct. It means Abhay Singh Chautala case and Ajay Singh Chautala case both were charged under the criminal misconduct as defined under section 13. Okay. Remarks, it was accepted that no previous sanctions had been taken in the case of both the appellants. What happened in the case of decision of special judge? Special judge said that when scam was happened, when the scam was committed, at that time your personality was different. At that time your personality was different, and at present time when I am taking the cognizance, your personality is different. So that's why no previous sanction is necessary. For the example, when scam occurred, at that time you were MP from the Lok Sabha. Okay, although you are the public servants, but at present time you are MP from the Rajya Sabha. Even you are a public servant, but your office has been changed. Your office has been changed, and allegation is that scam has occurred when you were MP from the Lok Sabha, so previous sanction is not necessary. This was challenged before the High Court. High Court dismissed the appeal. Why? On the basis of judgment of the A.R. Antule case. Matter is to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court also rejected and said that decision of special judge and High Court is correct. Why? Because here due to the change of the office, there is no need to take the sanction. Issue was framed whether sanctions under section 19 was necessary in both the appellants. It was said that no, here sanction is not necessary. Why? Because due to the change of the office, there is no need to the previous sanction. Question was that whether trial which was in progress will be valid. Court said that yes, it will be valid because in that case trial started without sanctions and sanction was not necessary, so this trial is not defective, so this was the good. Next issue, is the R.S. Nayak case required reconsiderations? Honorable Supreme Court said that no, it doesn't require reconsideration because whatever law has been laid down in 1984, that is a good law, that is the perfect law, and that has been followed continuously last 25 years. That's why there is no need to reconsider the case. Question was that what the ratio of Arias Naik obiter dictum? Obiter dictum is Latin words. Obiter dictum is the Latin words. Obiter dictum is referred to those issues, those matters which are decided in the judgment, which are not part of the judgment. जैसे मान लीजिए कि क्रिमिनल का केस एफआईआर हुआ, कि criminal का case FIR, suppose that FIR has been registered for causing the cruelty during the marital life. But court, what was done by the court? Court decided some case, some points on the 498A of the IPC, as well as section 13 of the Hindu Marriage Act. So whatever was decided on the Hindu Marriage Act, on that point, that judgment is obiter dictum. Why? Because Hindu Marriage Act is a civil matter. FIR was registered in the criminal matter. FIR was registered regarding the cruelty causing the husband, but you are deciding the civil matters. That is a totally different. That's why whatever matter was decided on the marital issue regarding the divorce under the Hindu Marriage Act, that is the obiter dictum. अगर इस वर्ड को समझने में प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है तो बता दो. ओबिटर डिक्टम किसी को समझने में प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं हो रही है ना? नहीं समझने में प्रॉब्लम हो रही है. जैसे कई बार तुम लोग देखते हो इलेक्शन होता है, इलेक्शन के मोमेंटम में कई बार होती है कि कुछ अननेसेसरी चीजें जबरदस्ती घुसा दी जाती है कि टॉपिक डाइवर्ट हो जाए. तो जो टॉपिक डाइवर्ट होने वाली बात होती है वो ओबिटर डिक्टम की कैटेगरी में आएगा. ठीक ना? तो इसी मामले में जैसे क्रिमिनल केस चल रहा हो, आप सिविल के मैटर पे कमेंट करें, या सिविल का मैटर चल रहा हो आप क्रिमिनल के मैटर पे कुछ आप गाइडलाइन जारी कर दें, तो वह पॉइंट ओबिटर डिक्टम की कैटेगरी में आएगा. और ये हमेशा ही लैटिन वर्ड है और कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम में खासतौर से इंटरव्यू में हमेशा पूछा जाता है. और तुम गूगल आकर के गूगल पे भी कुछ सर्च कर सकते हो, लैटिन वर्ड से तुम पढ़ सकते हो. ठीक ना? तो ओबिटर डिक्टम का मतलब यही होता है. बाकी इस केस में भी हम हाँ
सर ये ऑर्बिटल डिक्टम जूरिस्प्रूडेंस का ही पार्ट है ना सर? इसमें बेसिकली देयर आर टू टू थ्री डिफरेंट व्यूज ऑफ ए केस व्हिच ऑन द जुडिक्शन ऑफ जज माइंड दे कैन गिव एनी डिसीजन. यही है ना सर?
नहीं यार, ये नहीं है. डिफरेंट माइंड होना एक अलग चीज है. डिफरेंट माइंड का टोटली अलग पॉइंट हो जाता है. जैसे कि हम सिंपल से तो बता रहे हैं कि क्रिमिनल का केस चल रहा हो, अब तुम सिविल के मैटर को डिसाइड कर दो जो कि सिविल का कोई मतलब ही नहीं था. जैसे मान लीजिए तुम्हारे में मारपीट हो गई, एफआईआर हो गया, एफआईआर हो गया तो केस हम कर दिए तुम्हारे खिलाफ. अब कोर्ट कहना है मारपीट का एफआईआर ग्रीवस हर्ट का, और कोर्ट कह रहा है कि ये मैटर टार्ट्स के अंतर्गत डिफेमेशन के अंतर्गत मतलब सिविल लॉ के अंतर्गत डिफेमेशन का केस फाइल करना चाहिए था. ये डिफेमेशन का केस बनता है और उस मैटर में डिफेमेशन को डिफाइन करता है कि सिविल लॉ में डिफेमेशन का मीनिंग क्या होता है. जबकि हम दोनों का केस किससे है? मारपीट से है. हर्ट का है, ग्रीवस हर्ट का है. अब जज साहब क्या करते हैं, हर्ट और ग्रीवस हर्ट को तो डिसाइड करते ही करते हैं, वो हमें ये बताना शुरू कर देते हैं कि आपको लॉ ऑफ टार्ट्स में जाना चाहिए था, और लॉ ऑफ टार्ट्स में डिफेमेशन का मीनिंग ए है. तो वो पॉइंट डिफेमेशन का जो इशू है जो डिसाइड कर रहे हैं वो ओबिटर डिक्टम कहलाएगा. और दूसरी बात रही बात की जूरिस्प्रूडेंस का है कि नहीं है, लॉ में ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है कि कौन पॉइंट जूरिस्प्रूडेंस का है कौन पॉइंट जूरिस्प्रूडेंस का नहीं है. लॉ में हर एक वर्ड्स जो होता है आपस में इंटरलिंक होते हैं. आप बाइफरकेट नहीं करते कि दिस टॉपिक विल बी रीड अंडर द जूरिस्प्रूडेंस इंटरनेशनल लॉ, ऐसा कुछ यहाँ पे नहीं होता है. जूरिस्प्रूडेंस के बारे में लास्की क्या कहता है? लास्की तो यही कहता है ना कि जूरिस्प्रूडेंस इज आइज ऑफ लॉ. आइज ऑफ लॉ का मतलब क्या होता है कि जूरिस्प्रूडेंस है हर एक सब्जेक्ट को देखने का तरीका है. जूलियस स्टोन का एक डिफिनेशन देता है। जूलियस स्टोन कहता है कि जूरिस्प्रूडेंस लॉयर्स एक्स्ट्रावर्जन। चलो खैर, ये सब जो मैं तुम्हें बता रहा हूँ ये ओबिटर डिक्टम की कैटेगरी में है, क्योंकि हम लोग का जो मेन इशू अभी चल रहा है वो WCC का चल रहा है, प्रीवियस सैंक्शन का चल रहा है। अब
और
मत बोलो।
समझ
ठीक,
गया मैं।
ठीक, अब मत बोलो, हो गया, बहुत हो गया, क्लास लेने दो फिर। चलो, दिस इज द पॉइंट ओबिटर डिक्टम। तुम सभी कुछ देख सकते हो, पढ़ सकते हो, बस इससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं हो सकता है। कम टू द पॉइंट हियर दैट आर्यस नायक, was Aris Nayak versus AR Antule decided per incurium? What is the meaning of per incurium? Here I have decided obiter dictum. Here I am talking about the per incurium. Per incurium is used for those ratios which are decided or which are upheld after ignoring previous laws, existing law and facts. मतलब पर इंक्यूरियम का, अगर कोई ऐसा जजमेंट आता है जो प्रीवियस लॉ ऑलरेडी सेटल्ड है, या लॉ में कोई अमेंडमेंट हो चुका है, लेकिन जस्ट आपको मालूम ही नहीं है कि हाँ ऐसा अमेंडमेंट हो चुका है, या हाई कोर्ट का जजमेंट आ रहा है और उसको मालूम ही नहीं है कि हाँ 10 दिन पहले सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने इस जजमेंट को पलट दिया है। कई बार ऐसा होता है। इस तरह के पॉइंट को हम पर इंक्यूरियम जजमेंट कहते हैं। मतलब कि पर इंक्यूरियम जजमेंट्स आर दो जजमेंट्स which are decided by ignoring existing laws or facts of the case that are called per incurium। समझ में आ गया ना? इन दोनों वर्ड को तुम लोग समझ लेना, क्योंकि इंटरव्यू में हमेशा पूछता है भाई। बाद में मत करना कि हमने तो जूरिस्प्रूडेंस में पढ़ा ही नहीं, या ये नहीं किया, वो नहीं किया, ऐसा बहाना नहीं चलता है। इसको पढ़ लेना पर इंक्यूरियम के। इसका आर्गुमेंट अब देखो हम डिस्कस करेंगे। दीज आर द 6 पॉइंट्स। ओके, यस, वी हैव कम टू द पॉइंट्स। What were the arguments of the appellants? According to the arguments of the appellants, he was saying that arguments of the appellants means Abhay Singh Chautala as well as Ajay Singh Chautala. That's why here written appellants plural. Here the first argument was that sanction required under section 19 being a public servant on the day of the cognizance. They were arguing, millards, at present time we are the public servants, so you can't take action against me without previous sanction. So what was the reply by the court? Reply was by the court was that yes, although you are still public servants, but your capacity is totally different. So there is no need to take previous sanctions for whatever crime has been committed during the previous office. So that's why this argument was rejected. Here was that reconsideration of Anpule case. इसका आंसर मैं सेपरेट भी लिखा हूं, लेकिन टाइम कम है इसलिए साथ साथ में तुम्हें बता देता हूं, ठीक ना? Next argument was that on behalf of the appellants, millards, whatever ratio had been laid down during the R.S. Nayak versus A.R. Antule case in 1984, that is not the good law. Why that is not the good law? Because that case was decided according to the old PC. That law was decided according to the old PC. So there is need to reconsider the अंतुले केस। उसका कहना था कि ये केस डिसाइड हुआ था 1984 में। जब 1984 में डिसाइड हुआ था तो उसमें पुराना पीसी था, पीसी 1947, पीसी 1947, एंड एट प्रेजेंट टाइम we are living under the new PC. Under the new PC means under the 1988. So there is a need to reconsider the Andule case. Why? Because they had decided according to section 6 rather than according to section 19 of the new act. So it must be reconsidered. What was the reply of the Supreme Court? Supreme Court replied that Mr. Appellants, there is no need to reconsider the case. Why? There are several grounds, but among them two more important grounds. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि भाई इस जजमेंट को रिकंसिडर करने की जरूरत नहीं है। Why there is no need to reconsider? There are two grounds. First ground, section 6 of the old PC is pari materia to new PC. Section 6 of the old PC is pari materia to new PC. Pari materia means similar to. कहा गया कि जो बात सेक्शन 6 में लिखी गई थी वही बात नए कानून के सेक्शन 19 में लिखी गई है। जैसे तुम लोग कटप्पा को देखते हो ना, कटप्पा क्या कहता है? कहता है कि वचन देने वाले भले ही इस दुनिया में ना हो, लेकिन उनका वचन आज भी जिंदा है। तो ये तुम सब कह सकते हो कि कटप्पा का जनरेशन है और सेक्शन 19 अपने आप में कटप्पा है। मतलब ये हुआ कि दोनों के वर्डिंग तो जो थे सिमिलर थे, देयर वाज नो चेंज, there was no change between the wording of the section 19 and section 6. So that's why on that basis Supreme Court said that wording of both the sections are pari materia. That's why there is no need to reconsider. First point. Second point, Supreme Court said that this was decided in 1984. When was decided? 1984. And I am going to decide in 2011. How many years? 25 years. 1984 से लेकर के 2011 तक कितने साल हो गए? Near about 25 years. If you calculate since 1984 to 2011, near about 25 years. Honorable Supreme Court said that ratio of RS Naik case is being followed since last 25 years. Since last 25 years, without any interruption, without any disturbance by all the high courts, Supreme Courts. That's why there is no need to reconsider the case. Why? Because there is a third point, there is one legal maxim. एक मिनट लूंगा. According to that legal maxim, if law is settled, there is no need to change the settled law. कहाँ गया भाई? Wait for 1 minute. एक वर्डिंग है उसमें, is not pari materia, no need. yes this word. एग्जाम में इसको लिख दोगे 2 नंबर एक्स्ट्रा पा जाओगे। नहीं, मैं मजाक करता हूँ भाई, जो लिखना होगा लिखना। दिस वर्ड स्टेरे डिसीज एट नन क्वेटा मोवेरे। According to Lord Coke had said, observed that those things which have been so often adjust are to rest in peace. What is the sense of this line? According to them, if any law is well settled, if any law has adjusted itself, there is no need to disturb that law. It must be followed peacefully. According to the Supreme Court said that whatever ratio had been laid down in 1984 till 2011, nothing has been changed, and that has been followed since last 25 years. And according to the legal maxim, whatever observed by the Lord Coke, principle is that if stare deceases et nat quota movere, it means whatever is settled itself, there should not be disturbed. So ratio of the Antule case is well settled, so there is no need to reconsider the case. In this way, this argument was also rejected. This argument was also rejected. Come to the obiter dictum. According to the appellants, it was read that Millards, whatever judgments were laid down in the Antule case, that was obiter dictum. It means क्वेश्चन वाज समथिंग, आंसर वाज रिप्लाइड समथिंग। जैसे क्या होता है सेमेस्टर के एग्जाम में, सेमेस्टर के एग्जाम में कुछ बच्चे इतने कॉन्फिडेंस में रहते हैं, कहते हैं कि तुम्हारी जो औकात है कुछ भी पूछ लो, हमें जो आएगा वही आंसर देंगे। अगर आप कुछ भी पूछ लीजिए, बस उनको दिखना चाहिए कि आप प्रिवेंशन ऑफ करप्शन एक्ट का क्वेश्चन आया हुआ है, आप क्वेश्चन कुछ भी पूछ लीजिए, जो रट करके आया है वही आंसर लिखेगा, पक्का, उसको पूरा कॉन्फिडेंस रहता है। तो भले ही आंसर कुछ क्वेश्चन कुछ भी हो, आंसर वही देगा, समथिंग डिफरेंट ही देता है। तो यही कह रहा है कि सर जो जजमेंट आया था यार अंतुले केस में रेशियो कुछ था, लेकिन रिप्लाई कुछ दिया गया। क्वेश्चन वाज समथिंग, रिप्लाई वाज समथिंग, so that judgment was obiter dictum. But Honorable Supreme Court rejected this case. It was said that no. You can't say in these words. How can you How you can't say in such a way? And the Supreme Court said that, Mr. Appellants, be careful. First of all, this case was decided by the constitutional bench, not a single bench, not a division bench. It was decided by the constitutional bench. And many pages have been discussed. And section 6 was in issue. Previous sanction was in issue. And that's why whatever has been discussed in that case was discussed in the light of the previous sanction. It is other things that it was not argued by the party. Okay, that's why this argument was also rejected. Regarding the per incurium point, here the per incurium point, it was again said that Millards, there was ignorance of some law. This problem you have to understand why he was saying that this was the per incurium. उसने कहा why he was saying that this judgment is the per incurium. According to the appellants, Millards, there was ignorance of section 6 clause 2. There was ignorance of section 6 clause 2. It means in present time, there was ignorance of section 19 clause 2. What is the section 19 clause 2? Section 19 clause 2 says that, wait for 1 minute. What is the clause 1? Clause 1 says that in the case of public servants, you have to take previous sanctions. Clause A from the central government, Clause B from the state government, Clause C in other case by the prescribed authority. Okay, here point is clear: central, state, and prescribed authority. Clause 2 says that in case of any doubts, how it will be decided who will give the previous sanction. The clause 2 उसके बारे में बात करता है. जैसे कई बार होता है ना कि जैसे कि कोई व्यक्ति ऐसा है कि इस तरह का अपॉइंटमेंट हो जाता है कि कंफ्यूजन होता है कि भाई सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के अंतर्गत आता है या स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के अंतर्गत तो जॉब आता है. जैसे हम लोगों के साथ यही हुआ था, यूपीएससी के थ्रू जब हम लोग गए थे तो हम लोग का सिलेक्शन किसके थ्रू हुआ? सिलेक्शन हुआ सेंट्रल बॉडी के थ्रू, यूपीएससी के थ्रू सिलेक्शन हुआ. लेकिन जब हम लोग पांडिचेरी में ज्वाइन किए तो एम्प्लॉय किसके बन गए? स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के एम्प्लॉय बन गए. अब हमारे खिलाफ जब एक्शन लेना होगा, ऑफकोर्स कभी डाउट हो सकता है कि सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट प्रीवियस सैंक्शन देगा या स्टेट गवर्नमेंट प्रीवियस सैंक्शन देगा. तो क्लास 2 कहता है कि डाउट होगा तब आप क्लास 2 का रिकोर्स लेंगे. इसका कहना था कि देयर वाज सेक्शन 6 क्लास 2 वाज इग्नोर्ड. Section 6 clause 2 was ignored. What was the reply by the Supreme Court? Wonderful reply was given by the Honorable Supreme Court. Supreme Court said that, Supreme Court said that it was not per incurium. Why it was not per incurium? Supreme Court ने कहा कि एयर अंतुले केस में जब कोर्ट ने डिसाइड किया कि चीफ मिनिस्टर जब पोस्ट चेंज कर दें उसमें सैंक्शन लेने की जरूरत नहीं है. सैंक्शन लेने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. तो जब सैंक्शन लेने की जरूरत ही नहीं है तो 19 क्लास 1 हो चाहे क्लास 2 हो, बात ही नहीं उठती. समझ रहे हो ना? जब अगर आता क्या सैंक्शन लेना है तब क्लास 1 आता, जब कंफ्यूजन होता तब क्लास 2 में आते. जब उस केस में अंतुलेख केस में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कह दिया कि जब रिटायर्ड आदमी या ऑफिस चेंज हो जाए तो सैंक्शन लेने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. तो जब सैंक्शन लेने की जरूरत ही नहीं तो क्लास 2 को इग्नोर करने की बात ही कहाँ उठती. तो कोर्ट ने पर इंक्यूरियम के ग्राउंड को भी रिजेक्ट कर दिया. ये मुझे बहुत अच्छा लाइन लगता है, इसको पढ़ लेना, बहुत प्यारा लाइन. इसको समझ में आ गया होगा, डाउट होगा तो पूछ देना. Here is that ratio of the Antule case was accepted. In the previous cases, I had already given in detail with the help of some examples, so there is no need to discuss again. It was said that if office is changed, in that case there is no need to take the previous sanctions. Here it was said that both the clauses must be read in the combinedly. Decision of High Court was upheld, appeal was dismissed, and sanction was granted. Matlab it means no remedy was granted to the appellants. Okay, against them case started. Once the case started, what happened? केस तो स्टार्ट हो गया, इन लोगों को रेमेडी नहीं मिला. जब रेमेडी नहीं मिला तो अब स्पेशल बेंच ने अपना जजमेंट डिसाइड किया। अब स्पेशल बेंच ने जब जजमेंट अपना डिसाइड किया, ओम प्रकाश चौटाला के साथ साथ 55 लोगों का कन्विक्शन किया, एकदम थोक के भाव में किया। अब सीबीआई का डिसीजन आया। सीबीआई ने कहा कि देर वाज ए स्कैम इन द स्टेट, इन द जेबीटी स्कैम, and Om Prakash Chautala was convicted for how many years? For 10 years in jail. ओम प्रकाश चौटाला को कितने साल की सजा मिली? 10 साल की सजा मिली। उसके साथ साथ अजय चौटाला को भी 10 साल की सजा मिली थी, और बाकी लोग को भी सजा मिली थी, उसमें साल 2 साल ऐसे ऐसे करके मिली थी। और कुछ लोग मर गए, कुछ लोग बचे रह गए। टोटल को कितने सैंक्शन हुआ? टोटल 55 एक्यूज वर convicted. So my point is that this is not in your syllabus. I am discussing here only for sake of your knowledge, so that there should not be any confusion. Against these convictions, against 55 persons were convicted. Against these convictions, they approached to the High Court. High Court upheld the convictions and again said that Om Prakash Chautala and Ajay Singh Chautala both deserve for the 10 years. No remedy was granted by the High Court. Against the judgment of the High Court, they approached to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court delivered its judgment on the 3rd August 2015 and said that appeal was rejected and decision of High Court was upheld. It means again it was said that Om Prakash Chautala, Ajay Chautala and 55 persons had committed the scam and they deserve for the punishment. तो इस समय जो ओम प्रकाश चौटाला जी हैं या अजय चौटाला जी हैं या जो भी हो, भले ही फॉलो पर हैं, पैरोल पर हैं, लेकिन उनको जो जेल की सजा हुई है उस केस का नाम है ओम प्रकाश चौटाला वर्सेस सीबीआई। तो आई होप दैट माय स्टूडेंट्स विल had got the difference between Abhay Singh Chautala case and Om Prakash Chautala case. And in the exams, in the semester exam, be clear, if you're writing Abhay Singh Chautala case, don't write conviction or acquittal. Okay? Write only and only about the previous sanction. And if you're writing the Om Prakash Chautala case, don't write anything about the sanction. Write only about the previous conviction or acquittal. टाइम हो गया, बस 1-2 का टाइम है। बात निकली है तो दूर तक जाएगी। ड्यूट अचानक मुझे पता चला कि तुम लोग का सिलेबस खत्म करना है 27-28 तारीख तक। ये बड़ा दुख की बात है। और सबसे दुख की बात तो ये है कि एक केस था तुम्हारे सिलेबस में, गौरव जैन वर्सेस यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया का। उस जजमेंट को पढ़ाने में मैंने कम से कम 10 दिन इन्वेस्ट किया होगा, और अभी नया जो सिलेबस आया हुआ है, गौरव जैन के केस को हटा दिया गया है। तो तुम लोग भी कहोगे कि सर क्या करते रहते हो, लेकिन ठीक है भाई। देखो, सिलेबस में पहले था, बाद में हटाया गया, तो मेरी कोई गलती नहीं रही। बाकी फिर भी विशाल विशाल का केस उसमें है। अगर विशाल का केस तुम लिखते हो, बच्चों के बारे में कुछ भी क्वेश्चन आता है, प्रोस्टिट्यूशन का आता है, तो तुम गौरव जैन का केस ऐड कर सकते हो, तुम्हें एक्स्ट्रा ही मार्क मिलेगा। ऐसा नहीं कि गौरव जैन का केस बेकार है या ऐसा है। हुआ क्या कि वो जजमेंट हमारे सिलेबस में सबसे लेंदी जजमेंट था, लगभग लगभग 25 से 30 पेज का जजमेंट था। अब उस जजमेंट को हटा दिया गया, पढ़ाने में आसानी रह गया, बहुत सारी चीजें होगी हम तो नहीं जानते हैं, तो उसमें हमारी गलती कोई नहीं है। तो चलो, एक बस ये बचा है, जब कालीचरण महापात्रा में डिस्कस करना वो कर लेना तुम लोग, इसमें कुछ नहीं है, इसको पढ़ लेना, देयर इज नो नीड टू डिस्कस। यस, रिगार्डिंग द फाइनल आंसर, हियर आई हैड मेड द कंपैरिजन so that there should not be any confusion. This is the last class. If you want to ask any questions on that point, please ask me. Yes.